Have you noticed lately there's a lot more negative videos about Diablo 4 than positive? I even made one because I noticed Asmongold was reacting to a lot of controversial and negative Diablo feedback, and I wanted to see if I could make a video that he would potentially react to, and he did. I even put my camera on the wrong side just so he didn't have to move his camera. I almost feel bad for making such a negative video about this game. The truth is, we can be tired of something and still love it. Like, I love my fiance, but that doesn't mean I don't get tired of her from time to time. Same with Diablo 4, which is why I'm making this video. First reason I love Diablo 4, no build does everything. I love how I can't just design one character that can clear all content in this game. There's no one size fits all for the most part. Are you gonna deal single target damage, AoE, apply CC, be unstoppable? How about mobility? And do you have long cooldowns? Are you tanky? You can either do a few of these things really well or be an all-rounder and do multiple things okay. Number 2, the gameplay. Just hitting a wolf at level 1 feels extremely satisfying. Each attack and spell in this game feels great to use. Like the impact when it hits the monsters, like just clicking Frost Nova near a bunch of enemies and seeing them turn to ice, it's just pure satisfaction to me. And as a MOBA nerd who likes fast-paced, skill-based gameplay, I feel like my skill as a player really helps me defeat harder monsters more effectively. Whether it's dodging certain mechanics or using my skills in a perfect rotation for the scenario that I'm in, it all just fills my biology with happy gaming chemicals. Also, most games I play require so much focus. I can't have a deep conversation with a friend on Discord at the same time or even listen to music while I'm playing. But Diablo 4 is the perfect game to just relax and wind down, maybe watch a show or YouTube video on my second monitor. I love how calm I feel just farming monsters in this game. Itemization. I love the focus on conditions in this game. Like, I put on the boots Penitent Greaves and all of a sudden any monster close to me is classified as both chilled and crowd controlled, which all of a sudden unlocks a bunch of possibilities. Like, I can combine this effect with other items like this aspect for 25% damage reduction or the Umbral Ring for infinite energy generation. Plus, now that things are chilled around me, I can make use of new passives in my skill tree, and especially in my Paragon. And I love this system of aspects overall. The fact that there are different categories that go on specific gear pieces, like do I want to do more damage with an offensive aspect in my amulet, or am I going to try to be extra tanky by using a defensive one instead? With this being said, would have been nice to have a lot more aspects and uniques, of course, and that will come with seasons, as we know. But Diablo 4's itemization conceptually as a baseline system is very enjoyable in my opinion. The Paragon board. I love it. From the moment I hit level 50, I've been obsessed. I'm used to Diablo 2, where every level past 80 usually means pretty much nothing for the strength of my character. But in Diablo 4, I felt like every single level from 1 to 100 was meaningful. And this is thanks to the Paragon board. Plus, I think it's incredibly well balanced and noob-friendly, at least from my experience of playing Rogue. What I mean is, my first board that I put together by completely winging it, just picking the nodes and glyphs that I thought looked cool, that initial Paragon board of mine was still really strong and made a huge difference for my character. And it wasn't that far off in terms of how strong I felt compared to my current Omega optimized Paragon board. I think Blizzard nailed it by providing a seemingly complex endgame system that us nerds can invest hours theory crafting over, whilst at the same time not having it be completely overwhelming for new players to the point where they don't understand it or get any value from it. Number 5, the sandbox. What do I mean by that? The amount of content, classes, areas, monsters, monster types, dungeons, bosses, Tree of Whispers, Renown, world bosses, multiplayer, trading. The reason I played Warcraft 3 and Halo 3 for thousands of hours growing up is because these games were so rich on features. And now in Diablo 4, I feel very similar, where the gameplay is not just a flat linear experience where my only option is to do that one thing over and over. There's actually a wide range of activities available, and the game just came out. So I can only imagine how they will expand on this initial version of the game. Also, the size of Sanctuary, I mean, it's huge, and I love that I can run from one side to the other and have no loading screens. Pinnacle bosses. The journey of killing Uber Lilith brought up all of my insecurities as a person. I cried on my partner's shoulder at one point out of frustration of dying so much. But once I did it, the relief and sense of accomplishment I felt is unforgettable for me. The fact that this game provided me with that disgusting of a challenge and an experience I'll talk about for years definitely deserves a shout out. And I'm not sure I'm mentally ready to take on a new Pinnacle boss yet though. But knowing they're adding more of these in the future, it's definitely exciting. And although most regular dungeon bosses are undertuned, once you get to tier 90 plus nightmare dungeons, pretty much all bosses become interesting, since they don't die as fast and you actually have to interact with their mechanics that can kill you, and it's a lot of fun. Speaking of fun, Diablo 4 is fun for me. It's that simple. The sole purpose of gaming is to have fun, right? And D4 is that for me. Just clicking a couple buttons to blow up a screen of monsters with the constant possibility of finding an item that could make my character that much stronger is for some reason all it takes for me to enjoy Diablo 4 and want to play it every time I wake up. I mean, unless you're making sweet, sweet love with someone you really care about, I'm not sure it's possible to beat the feeling of finding a perfectly rolled amulet in Diablo 4. Number 8. The community. It's fun to play any new big game because of the hype around it. Just feeling a part of something just by playing the same game as all these other people, the streamers and their chat and Reddit and YouTube. It's exciting. One thing I've noticed about Diablo players is you all seem relatively mature and kind compared to a lot of other gaming communities. Perhaps it's because this game series is over 20 years old and there's a lot of older players that actually treat each other with respect, especially in the comments on my videos. It's been really nice to see. I love you guys. Number 9. Value for money. For a game that costs $70, I got over 200 hours worth of gameplay and memories for life, all in my first month of playing. And this is a live service game, meaning I get access to future seasons and content for free until the first expansion. I mean, sign me up. For the amount of disappointing games out there, I'm very happy with Diablo 4 already. Finally, one of the biggest reasons I love Diablo 4 is how Blizzard and the developers actually are doing a good job at making sure the community feels heard. They respond to concerns and answer questions. They've been implementing some changes surprisingly fast. Plus, they're hiring pretty intensely to keep improving the game. And overall, they give me as a player the certainty that they do indeed have their fingers on the pulse of what the players' concerns are and what the game needs. This is huge and frankly quite rare in today's game industry, and it makes me excited for each patch that comes out. So even though there are changes I definitely want to see in this game, I wanted to make this video sharing the other, more positive side of the coin.